Do our deceased loved ones reach out to us from beyond? Do the dead speak? Hell yeah, they do. And there's been tons of evidence to show that fact. You might have heard a situation like this in your own personal. Somebody that you know lost a loved one. However, before that happened, that person had dreams about certain things or certain people. And those dreams were clues into what would eventually happen. The question is always the same thing. No matter how much the person loved me before they died, why is it that I don't hear them? Why is it that they just don't come back and tell me something? I thought they loved me. Is it because love is gone when that person dies? But if we consider the stories of those people who have lost loved ones and had dreams before that, you realize the obvious. Our loved ones, when they transition, since they don't have mouths, they're going to have to communicate with us in a different way. How you see is through eyeballs. How you hear is with eardrums. How you speak is with the mouth. These things are all physical, and the physical decomposes. When a person transitions, the spirit has no choice but to leave this body, this vessel. So how is this spirit going to communicate when it has no mouth? How is it going to hear you when it has no ears? You see what I'm saying? Now, in this video right here, I've made it very clear what my position is on death. And to be quite honest, there's not a lot of people, if any, that can argue with my theory. But I'm going to give you something a little bit more. People that have transitioned, they can speak, but you must be in a particular state in order to hear them. The dream state is always a kind of wild subject or mysterious subject, but it's not really. The dream state is simply a different state of mental consciousness. That's it. Once you achieve that different state, then the consciousness is able to do different things that it normally would not be able to do. For instance, your sixth sense, the sensation that you get when the hairs on the back of your neck raised, or even when you step into a room and you feel a certain energy. This needs to be developed, and it can be developed. However, you must be of a state of consciousness in order to develop it. I believe once we go to sleep, our sixth sense goes into overdrive. I think it touches all kinds of stuff. I'll leave it at that. You guys know me by now. I can get pretty scientific if I want to. You can take an ice cube, and that ice cube is always water, but it's in a solidified form. Since it has this new and solidified form, that water is able to do different things. You can hit somebody with a cube and it'll hurt. But what if I melt that ice cube and I just toss that water at somebody? Oh yeah, it'll piss somebody off, but that's the extent of it. What I'm trying to tell you is you can take the same matter, and once it changes state, you can look at it as having new abilities. You understand? That is what I believe happens to our consciousness when we slumber, when we go to sleep. Our consciousness simply changes state, and we are now aware of a different kind of reality. Remember what being conscious is. Being conscious simply means that you are aware of your surroundings. And on a deeper level, still scientific, your body is taking in all of this sensory data in millions of a second, if I'm not mistaken. We conceive the computer because we are the computer. You understand what I'm saying? So once our consciousness reaches that dream state, that different level of consciousness, the deceased or the transitioned, that's when they can reach out. That's when they can warn you. And they have. Again, I challenge you to ask any of your friends if they had any dreams before one of their loved ones passed away. And if it had anything to do with a deceased loved one letting them know, listen, look out for so-and-so. Watch out for so-and-so. That lets you know, people, that family is still family when we pass away. The connection that we have is not just sperm to egg. It's spirit that infuses the connection between that sperm and that egg. Scientists have called it a zinc spark, something that happens in mammals when eggs are fertilized. Some people on a deeper level have said this is when the soul of any living thing enters the physical existence. I don't know. I mean, to me, I believe that the zinc spark is nothing more than a chemical response. If I take a match and I strike it up against the proper thing that will ignite it, there's your spark, there's your flame. You understand what I'm saying? I don't sit back and say, oh, there's the flame, the spirit is now here. I'm not sure if it's that deep, but I'm just letting you guys know that that's what some people think it is. Me personally, I like to just stay with what I have heard numerous times. Our deceased loved ones seem to contact us when our consciousness is in a different state of receiving their messages. The sixth sense, as I touched on earlier, I think it's extremely important that we develop it. Working on your natural ability to empathize with another human being or another creature, like a dog or a cat or what have you. I think the more you empathize with things, the more you'll learn how to feel your surroundings. However, there is a catch, because any empathetic human being will tell you that it can take a lot out of you emotionally to feel so many different things. But that just means that you have to balance your empathy. You have to understand when to care and when to not give a fuck. And it's totally possible because I've learned how to do it. It's about protecting your gift. And once you protect it correctly, you'll be able to turn it off and turn it on. You'll be able to step into a room and feel the energy that was there. You'll be able to stand in front of somebody and feel their energy or their lack of spirit. You know, there's plenty of people out there that practice speaking to spirits or what have you. Now, if you're a particularly religious person, then you'll probably be against that. You'll say, listen, the dead are dead and you shouldn't be speaking to them. But that's the thing. If your mother has passed away, your father has passed away, and they were good people, then why wouldn't you want to speak to them? Why would God forbid you to speak to people that have shown you nothing but love? You know better. So my point is, yes, there's spirits out there, and yes, you probably don't want to commune with all of them. But if your loved ones speak to you, no, I suggest you heed whatever warning that they give you. I will close this off with a dream that I had years ago. I seem to dream a lot now that I'm older. Can't gauge why. But then again, on the other hand, I'm more tapped in than what I used to be when I was younger. So yeah, probably that's what's going on. So I was going through this museum. It was all of these oddities in the museum, just weird stuff. Nothing bizarre, but just weird stuff, right? Now, at a certain point, I got to a cage, and in that cage, there was a black doll, and that doll was alive. And as I got closer to that cage, that doll looked at me, I looked at that doll, and I said, man, what is that? And before I could get even more curious than that, a dog appeared right down next to my leg and just started barking, snapped me out of that trance. And I followed that dog past that cage to this door, and I opened the door, and there was light outside that door. Once I opened that door, I found myself walking out of a brownstone in New York, right to the sidewalk. And I looked back at that door in my dream, and I thought about that dog, and I said, thanks God, I see what that was. Now, anybody that understands what that black doll is or what anything like that means, y'all know that I avoided some shit right there in that dream. I am not a person that follows the occult. I don't study the occult. I do not practice voodoo, but I understand it all exists, and I understand that it has a foundation in this world. So whatever that dog was, or whoever that dog represented, that dog let me know that I was blessed and highly favored by this universe. And I already knew that any damn way, because I'm 51 and I'm still here. For however long I'm going to be here. But I have had, to this moment, a hell of a life, done some crazy shit, but I'm still here by the grace of God. So get closer to your spirit. Get closer to this universe, folks. Take it light. All love. Peace. Hey everybody, if you like that video, please consider subscribing to the page. Why not? What's it gonna hurt? Also, I have a graphic novel entitled Isis Omega. You can read the graphic novel for free. All you have to do is go to my website, click on the Isis Omega link, and scroll down, and you will see that there is a link for you to download the entire graphic novel, so that you can read it on your phone or on your PC at your leisure. I hope you enjoy what you read, and if you do, let me know. I'm just like anybody else. I like to hear nice things as long as it's the truth. Take care.